Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to talk to you about family division, and how that's biblical to have family division. You wouldn't think that it would be biblical, but it is. It is. Jesus actually set the division up, which is mind-blowing to me. But we'll get to the scripture. But this came about from a conversation that I had with somebody at church yesterday. Usually people, they pray with family members that may not know Christ. They don't walk with them at all. And some people that, you pray that they, become closer walk with them. Illnesses that they may have, the prayer request, goes on and on. But in particular, we're speaking with somebody about, the family members and how it really troubles this person to have, family members that are lost. But it's biblical for that to happen. Now, if you have any doubt in that, go with me to Matthew chapter 10. We're going to hit verses 34, and we're going to go down to verse 37. So it starts off with verse 34. It says, "Think not that I've come to send peace on earth." Now, you would think that Jesus would bring peace to the earth. We sing "Peace on Earth, Goodwill to Men." That's one of the songs that we sing during Christmas time. But in this case, he's saying, "I have not come to bring peace." Well, what did he come with? It says, "I come not to send peace, but a sword." Now, you might start off with this and say, well, that's complete opposite of the nature of Jesus. You might say, well, why would he come with a sword? Well, if you continue reading verse 35, because he says this, why would he bring a sword? Well, because, verse 35, because I am come to set at man at variance, or I guess opposition, I guess you could use as a word, or dividing. You're at opposition. It's like you're at odds with the person. So at variance against his father. So a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother. So right off the bat, it says that I've come not to send peace, but a sword. And set the division, or set at odds with mother and son, or father and son, daughter and mother. Now, what is it set? And it doesn't say that it's set it up with different, other applications, because there is going to be family feuds. There's going to be family struggle and different things. Now, if we look at what this is saying in verse 32 and 33, the verses right before that, when you want to get Scripture in its context, it says, "Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven." So this is talking about confessing and denying. So this has a spiritual concept. So when Jesus came, the variance is spiritual. So the odds is belief. Now this can go both ways. Now, if you have a mother and a father that are biblically sound, that they go to church, they read their Bible, they've accepted Christ, they're living right, and all these other things, the son and the daughter could be at variance against them, and that's biblical. Now he came for the sword. Now we don't like that. We don't like that variance. We don't like to have somebody in our family that is opposed to what we believe, the opposed to how, that they've taught. Now it could go other ways too. Now this doesn't mean that the family, the mother and father is always right. Now it can be that the mother and father could be atheists. They could be completely against any kind of spiritual doctrine, any kind of deity, anything to do with church whatsoever, and the son and the daughter comes along, and they gave their life to Christ, they're going to church, then that variance, the sword can cut both ways, is what I'm saying. And then it says, and it goes a little bit further, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So it mentions daughter now. Before it mentions the man and the father, but now this is specifically mentioning about the daughter. Now it says, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So the son could marry somebody that had different belief system, right, than the family, and then he could go back to the other things. So not just the immediate family, but the family that maybe you married into, and that sets the variance against that. So that's why we look back. We might do another thing about unequally yoked, that you shouldn't be yoked together with unbeliever and different things. That might be another message. But this is saying that there is a division not just in the immediate home, but in the married home, the combined home as well. So that sets the variance that way. And it says, a man's foe should be they of his own household. Now, you might have a foe or an opposition outside of your home, but what makes it worse is having a foe inside of your home. Now, a man's home is like his dominion, his castle. That's a place where you should find peace and love and joy and comfort. But in this verse, and a man's foe should be that of his own household. And it goes a little bit further. Let's hit verse 37, and then we'll hit another verse. So it says, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So he that loveth mother and father, now in this case, the mother and father may have a different belief system. And your love and not wanting to rock the boat, your devotion to them may be more than your devotion with God. Well, I don't want to go to church because I don't want to upset them. I don't want to go outside of different things of what they, because if I do that, it will cause struggle in the home. And then it says, son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Now, I said before, it can cut both ways. What if a son or daughter is outside of the will of God? What if the son or daughter is opposition of everything that you had, and that tears down your faith? That tears down your belief system, your structure, and it brings struggles. But then at the latter part of verse 37, it says, more than me, and this is where it all boils down together. At the end of each thing, it says, love father and mother, daughter or son, is not worthy of me. So the division is, as before in verses 32 and 33, confession and denying before. Who are you going to love more? What is going to be your dedication? Now let's hit in Luke, just to hit home the point. Luke chapter 12, verse 51. It says, suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father. The mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother. The mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So the division is biblical. Now, what is hard for us is to think that Jesus would set that division, would set to bring the sword into your home. Now, I know that it is painful to not have family members that believe the same things that you believe. It is very painful and it is very heartbreaking to have people that you love not believe the same way that you do. And it is even harder to know that they've turned their back on a faith that you hold so dear. But the question that you have to ask yourself, he that loveth father and mother more than me is not worthy. He that loveth son or daughter is not worthy. Where is your dedication? Is your dedication to your family, or is your dedication to God? And my prayer for you, and this is going to be a hard prayer, is that you would love God more than family. And that means praying for them. You can work with them, you can try to help them out as much as you can. But knowing that your dedication and your love needs to be to God first, because I will tell you, if you take all of your energy and you try to help something that God himself or Jesus set the division there, it's a losing battle. Now, if the Lord opens up their minds and they've accepted Christ and they can walk with you, then great. But if not, just know that some of the hardest things that we have to face in life is the people that we love the most may not believe the same things that we do. So my prayer is that we would love God more. God bless you, and I hope you have a good day.